Today's video, I'm going to be doing my predictions for the semi-final of the Champions League for the first leg. We've got two incredible games. I'm absolutely buzzing for the Tuesday night game. We have got Arsenal hosting PSG, and then on the Wednesday night, which I will also be watching, which my girlfriend doesn't know about yet. I'm going to have to break the news. I'm going to be watching both games, but you know how it works. We'll get past that. For the other game, we've got Barcelona versus Inter Milan, which I feel like is a game that's been really slept on because everyone's talking about the Arsenal-PSG game, but that game in itself is going to be absolutely incredible. We're going to start off with the Tuesday night game. We're going to be talking about Arsenal hosting PSG. Now, we'll get on to my prediction, but I'm going to give you my thoughts kind of going into the game. After doing a bit of research and things, looking at the two sides. I've been watching a lot of PSG this season because they've been a really exciting team. I spoke about this before on my channel and spoke about it before on my podcast. I look at PSG this season and describe them, and now hear me out. They are Crystal Palace on steroids. I believe that Crystal Palace are pure vibes to watch. I absolutely love their attack. Those players like Sarr, Mateta, Eze, all of those boys are exciting to watch, but it's them on steroids. The PSG attack is absolutely incredible. We've got Barcola, we've got Dembele. I could be going through all of them. I absolutely love them. And then they've got the Ratters in midfield. Vitinha, I absolutely love him. And then Fabian Ruiz in there as well. Kind of a little bit more of a technically gifted footballer. This PSG team, for once, seems to be really balanced. And I really like this kind of narrative and the story that we've seen with PSG, with the fact that they had the big names. They got rid of the big names, and now they're kind of trusted in this system, bought players to fit a system. And it's crazy to see how it works. They're not the biggest names that they've bought, don't get me wrong, but they're still all absolutely incredible. And I love the Dembele redemption arc that he's gone on through his career. And he's now considered to be like the Michael Jordan of this PSG team, this mentality monster that wants the best for his team. And I love him. And I really have been enjoying watching this team. It's going to be quite interesting going into this game because obviously PSG and Arsenal played each other earlier on in the season at Arsenal, and Arsenal absolutely battered them. I remember speaking to Mike, a friend of mine who is goes to a lot of the games at Arsenal, and he was at that game. He spoke about how the fans are incredible, but PSG were awful, and that was the time where it didn't really look like it was gelling for PSG, and then something switched. It was, I think, the game after that maybe, or there might have been another game that they had, and then all of a sudden the ball started rolling, and that's why you see them currently 20 points clear at the top of Ligue 1. Obviously, they've won the title. We won't only talk about Marseille because it's going just crazy. I know they're second, but it's just really weird going on over there. But I look at PSG, I just think it's going to be a really interesting game. But I do think this suits Arsenal more than it does PSG, because what we've seen with PSG, once it's clicked, when they played a lot of teams, they like to have all the ball. They like to dominate sides. We saw it against Villa. We saw it against Liverpool. And they dominated the ball, and they really constantly getting the ball out wide and then getting those kind of players to attack the fullbacks to come inside. But I look at Arsenal. They've probably, arguably, other than Inter Milan, maybe those two have got the best defensive sides in the Champions League throughout the competition. Not even just left, I'm on about completely. And I look at Arsenal and I think they're a side that can really soak up pressure, where we've seen them do it so many times, and that's something we've really praised this Arsenal team. So I look at it like that and just think that this game, I think, suits more so towards Arsenal, because I think that Arsenal will allow them, PSG, to dominate the ball, to everyone to sit behind. And we saw it against Real Madrid in the second leg, that they can hit them on the break. They've got the technically gifted footballers, players like your Declan Rices and stuff like that. And then you've got Saka and Martinelli, because Martinelli, I think, is going to be huge in this game as well, because on that right-hand side, Hakimi likes to bomb on forwards. There's going to be a lot of space down that side as well with Saka against Nuno Mendes. But I do think Nuno Mendes is going to be an interesting battle, because I think that's probably a more balanced battle. But when I look on that right-hand side, I think how far Hakimi gets forward is mental when you watch it. If Martinelli stays up there and cheats him, when you just need one simple pass from a player like Partey breaking up, moving on to Declan Rice, and then that cutting pass, and I think that will be massive in this game. I look at it and just think maybe that's where Arsenal will dominate. I do think that they're going to win this game. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Yes, you heard me right, because PSG do normally score. They're absolutely incredible to watch. But I just look at it and just think, like Liverpool did in that first game back at PSG, where they hit them on the break. They soaked up pressure throughout the game. But I look at it as a whole, and I just think Arsenal defensively are too strong. So I just think it's going to be a great game regardless. But yeah, Arsenal 2-1 winners. I think that will be the score in that game. But we'll now go on to the game that I'm most excited about, just purely because I don't feel like it's spoken about enough. I feel like there's some really interesting narratives that are going to be formed and already forming in this game. Barcelona versus Inter Milan. This is huge for both sides, because Inter Milan, we'll start off with them. Inter Milan, I don't know if you've been watching too much of Serie A and the Copa del Rey. They've been having a really bad time recently. The last probably week and a half, it looks like they've bottled the league with the fact that they lost against Roma, and it was a really poor performance. They've not won in 3 games now, and they also lost in the Copa del Rey final to AC Milan. They lost 3-0. Yes, you heard me. They lost 3-0. And then before that, they also lost 1-0 to Bologna. I think it was 1-0 to Roma as well. But they've been quite poor recently. You look at it as a whole, and I think there's a really interesting narrative, because if you ask me about maybe 2 weeks, sorry, a week instantly straight after the game when they got through, you kind of thought, okay, something's going right here. And you looked at it, and then Inter Milan, all of a sudden, after beating Bayern, I thought, because they dismantled them really well, players like Arturo Martinez really stepped up massively in that game. And you looked at me, you thought, okay, they've got a bit of momentum, and that momentum's gone. They've not won since that game, which is a really damning stat. And you look at it going into the game against Barcelona, who arguably are the most informed team in this competition left, because PSG obviously also lost to Nantes last week as well, which isn't a good performance and a good result for them. They lost to Nantes and they drew with Nice. I think that's the right way around. But you're going into this, it looks like Barcelona the most informed team, so it's a really poor time for Inter Milan to drop off their form. And you look at it as a whole, that this is kind of their biggest kind of competition that they're left in, because it looks like they're out of the race for the league. It looks like Napoli have kind of gone on to win that with the results that happened this weekend. They lost the Copa del Rey. It's turned into from a really good season to a really bad season quite fast. So I think the pressure's really mounting for Inter Milan. And going into this game, obviously we've spoken about Barcelona before on this channel, and how many times have they actually been tested in this competition? And I speak about this, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. Barcelona have dismantled every team that they've come up against, and I feel like they've done it very casually, and people aren't speaking about them enough. There's been more narrative about PSG and teams like that. That's purely, though, because of the fact that, and same with Arsenal, the fact that Arsenal have beaten Real Madrid, and we've seen PSG beat Liverpool. They've beaten some big teams. And Barcelona, they can't help the fact that that's just the way the run has happened, and it's just the way that the competition's gone. But I look at Barcelona, they're on for a treble. They are absolutely on fire. Hansi Flick has got them playing some incredible football, and obviously off the back of that win in the Copa del Rey final, which was an incredible game, by the way. If you haven't watched the highlights against Real Madrid, it's absolute carnage. All the red cards at the end as well, with Vasquez, Rudiger, and Bellingham. It's absolute carnage. Rudiger lobbing things, which obviously we don't want to back on this channel, but it does make for a good watch, doesn't it? It's a little bit exciting, something a little bit different, but I look at it as a whole and think this is a really interesting game, because this is the first time where we can really decide just how good this Barcelona team is, because they're coming up against a side that is so defensively strong, it is incredible, but they've got that attacking flair going forward, and that's a real interesting balance. Because I look at it, Inter Milan, and I think they're probably the best system. You look at the team, they're not the best team in the competition, but as an actual structure, as an actual system, they are incredible. They've been doing this for years now, and the fact that they know what they're doing, it's not the first time they've been in this with this squad at this time in the competition. Obviously losing to Manchester City the year before last in the final, you kind of look at it and you think, okay, the majority of the squad have already been there, they've already done it, they know exactly what to do, especially being the underdogs, because that competition they were the underdogs going throughout. I know obviously they lost in the final, but they know what to do in this situation. And I look at it as well, Barcelona defensively, I don't think are very strong, especially with the system they play. The fullbacks bomb on forward as well, and they can get hurt quite easily. And you looked at it in the game against Real Madrid on the weekend, they can be bullied in that midfield, because obviously they've got the tacticians and the players are great on the ball, technically gifted, but they can be bullied. And I think that's where Inter Milan can come into this. If Inter Milan kind of dominate themselves, get onto them hard, get defensively strong, but when they do win it back, hit them with pace with Arturo Martinez and things like that, that's where there could be something going on. But I do think Inter Milan will definitely score in this game, just purely down to the fact that Barcelona aren't strong enough defensively, in my opinion. They've conceded a lot of goals this season, but they also score lots. So I'm going to say I'm going for a 2-1 Barcelona win, and I cannot wait to watch Rafinha. I can't believe I'm saying this. If you'd asked me this 3 years ago, that I'd be talking about Rafinha in a semi-final of a Champions League being one of the most exciting players to watch, him and Lamine Yamal, it's mental. The two of them have been absolutely incredible, and Barcelona have been incredible, and it looks like they could be on for a treble. But those are my predictions. 2-1 in both games to the home side. Yes, you heard it right. Barca 2, Inter 1, Arsenal 2, PSG 1. Those are my predictions for the first leg of this competition. I'll be doing some match reactions, hopefully, to those games. Let me know your thoughts down, though, in the comment section below. And please do put your predictions, because I'm excited to see. This is kind of unknown, and I really like the fact that there's none of the real heavy giants left, if you know what I mean, the ones we've seen in recent years. You haven't got your Real Madrid in there, and that's what I really like to see. I like to see the fact that we could have a winner of the competition who we haven't seen in a long time, like Inter Milan. When was the last time we saw that? It's mental, isn't it? Same with Barcelona. They've kind of had a bit of a torrid time under Xavi and things, and it feels like they've kind of come on this redemption arc. They've kind of gone back to the youth. We've seen a lot of youth players coming through at this Barcelona side, and they're really exciting to watch, and I cannot wait to watch them. I love watching Inter Milan, though. Inter Milan are one of my favourite teams to watch. I've said that about all the teams, if you notice this, because I'm excited for this competition. It's been an incredible Champions League. I spoke about this before on the channel. I actually think I prefer the way that Champions League's been done now. I was a little bit sceptical when it first got released, but now I fully get it. It's been such an exciting competition. We've seen some absolutely huge games that we never normally see, which has been incredible, and I am buzzing for these semi-finals. But as I said, please do smash the like button. Please do subscribe. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers on this channel ASAP. Yes, it's big. I probably should go for 10k first, because we haven't even hit that. But I'm being ambitious here. That's the goal for the end of the year. maybe ridiculous, maybe stupid. We're going to try and get there. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, as I said, please smash the like button. Please do subscribe and comment down below your predictions for the games. It's going to be juicy. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye.